I will help you how to read the case for law school. By the end of this video, you'll read the case faster, easier, and clearer. The lesson begins now. We all dread recitations. You know what's worse is the day they assign the cases. But you know what? That's every day. Well, it doesn't get worse, it actually gets better. Now, here's the first tip. Read the case like it's a TV episode or a teleserie. I know it sounds corny, but it does make case reading easier. First, there are three parts of a case or a story: the setup, the conflict, and the resolution. What is the setup? These are the facts of the case where all what has happened or what happened in the case are laid out, hopefully in the chronological order. What is the conflict? A conflict is about two people who go to court to fight out their issues. Or if it's a criminal case, it's the state prosecuting a criminal. Remember, if there's no conflict, there is no case. And lastly, the resolution. This is the decision of the case where the court sides with one of the parties. It's the duty of the judge or justice to explain why the court sided that way. And that's what you have to remember when it comes to recitation. Tip number 2, know that it began with a dispute. As mentioned previously, in the case, it started with a conflict. If it's a civil case, normally it's about two people who had a contract or had an agreement that was either breached or not complied with. Somebody's trying to enforce the contract. In a criminal case, the conflict's about the state prosecuting a criminal. And since you're reading a Supreme Court case, know that it is the final stage of any appeal, which meant that when it started as a dispute, it started in the trial court where one party lost. Then there was an appeal, and whoever lost the appeal went up to the court. The dispute is just like two sides of a coin that never meet. You might think that's drama, but that's exactly what a court case is all about. Drama. Tip number 3, know the subject and the topic where the case was assigned. There are two types of cases that you'll normally read: civil and criminal. About 90% of the cases you'll read are civil, because criminal cases are just about a violation of the law and a consequence that follows. When cases are assigned to you, they're broken down or they're assigned to you by subject matter. For example, a criminal case is usually in criminal law, wherein you will study why a person is guilty, why the person got off, or why the defense was valid. Remember, read the case in its entirety, highlight which parts of the case relate best to the subject to where it was assigned. Tip number 4, read the case twice. In the first reading, just read it in its entirety and remember what passages or parts of the case you want to highlight. In the second reading, that's when you highlight. Don't worry, maybe in your first year it takes you 30 minutes to read the case. By the time you're a junior, it'll only take 10 minutes. When you read the case in its entirety, in its whole form, you will know the whole story, the macro version. Then on the second reading, they just highlight. The highlights are important because when you read the case before a class or before exams, you'll remember the case because of the highlights. Tip number 5, know its jurisprudential value. Wait, I just invented a new word, jurisprudential. Now, when the case is assigned by your law professor, know that it was assigned because there's a lesson to be learned. We have to have a good faith belief that when a professor assigns a case, it has value to what you're supposed to learn for his subject. And when you highlight the case, think of one-liners or catchphrases that will make you remember the case. For example, in the Miranda versus Arizona case about Miranda rights, as you say, you have the right to remain silent. It's not about those rights, it's about the exclusionary rule. And in the Philippines, it's the Molina case, wherein in that case, a justice of the Supreme Court laid down 8 steps before one can get a marriage annulment. Do you remember that line from Jaws? You're gonna need a bigger boat. Well, it's from Jaws, not from Star Wars. I hope you picked up something in this video. Know that I posted other videos that will help you in law school. This is Dean Vera saying, it's not what you know, it's what they don't know. Goodbye.